And so as we continued, the continuation of the story of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi radiallahu anh from the previous session, he participated in one of the battles on the 19th year of the Hijriya calendar, where he was sent by Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anh along with other Muslims to fight against the Roman Empire. And so he was caught as one of the prisoners of battle, and the king Caesar of Rome, he said that he wanted one of the prisoner to be brought forward to meet him, because he heard that this Muslim army, they are very strong in their faith, and that they would sacrifice whatever it takes to lift the kalima of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, the flag of there is no God worthy to be worshipped except Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. He heard of that many of times, and so he requested that one of the prisoner were to be brought forward to him. And so just so happened, Qaddar Allah, Allah has decreed that Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi radiallahu anh was brought forward to meet Caesar, the king of Rome. And the king offered him embrace Christianity, to which he refused and rejected. Many of times he was offered the kingdom, the Roman kingdom. The king promised him that he would share the kingdom with Abdullah ibn Hudhafa, but then he denied. And then the king got him crucified and told his archers to shoot him by his hands, again offering him Christianity. Again, to which Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi radiallahu anhu replied with such rejection, La. And again he was shot near his legs now, and offered again, and he said La. He refused. And so the king then got him off the crucifix. Anzilu, bring him down. And now the king ordered a big pot, a big cauldron filled with oil, and to be placed on boiling point, where he then requested for two of the Muslim prisoners to be brought forward to him again. And so he displayed and demonstrated in front of Abdullah, embrace Christianity. He said, La. And one of the Muslim prisoner was then thrown into the boiling oil, where his meat shredded, and nothing was left of the corpse except for white bones. Again offered, La. The second person was then thrown into the oil too. But he was still strong in his belief, in his faith. Radiallahu anhu. And so the king then got bored of him. Boredom struck him, and he was like, Khalas. He got tired of Abdullah and said, Urmu, alqi bihi fil qidr. Throw him in the boiling pot. And as his men were about to throw him into the boiling pot, his men observed and found that Abdullah was crying. Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi was crying. And so they thought that Abdullah was shaken to the fact that he will be thrown into the boiling pot. And so they reported to Caesar, king of Rome, This guy just cried. What shall we do? What shall we do? And so the king then said, Ta'ala bi, bring him forward. So he cried, yeah? ظن أنه جزع. He thought that Abdullah was frightened, was scared. And so the king then offered him again for the many time. Wallahu alam. For the 5th, 6th, 7th time. He said, would you like to embrace Christianity? To which again Abdullah refused. La. Kalla. And then he said, Wayhak, woe be upon you. Curse be upon you. Man ladhi abkak. What made you cry then? The king, he was astonished. He was amazed. He was questioning. Like, what made you cry then? What made you cry? Abdullah ibn Hudhafa Sahmi radiallahu anhu replied, I was saying to myself, oh Abdullah, now you're going to be thrown into the boiling pot. And that your life will go away. Your soul will go away. I was saying to myself, how I wish that I have souls by the number of hairs on my body. I have souls by the number of hairs on my body, on my head, on my hands, on my legs, any part of the body, the number of hairs on my body. How I wish I had souls by the number of hairs on my body, so that it will be thrown in the boiling point each time, and I will die as a martyr in sabilillah, in the way of Allah every time. That I will die fi sabilillah more than once. He was saddened by the fact that he only got one soul, one life to die as a shaheed. How he wished that his souls were of the number of hairs on his body, so that he can die fi sabilillah numbers of times, several times. He want to die fi sabilillah, brought to life again and die fi sabilillah again, and brought to life and die fi sabilillah again, numerous times. That's what made him cry. Not that he was shaken by the fact that he was going to be thrown into the boiling pot. No. Caesar, king of Rome, he was shocked. And he was amazed by the creed of this person, and said, would you kiss my head and I would then release of you? Like, just kiss my head and I would release you. Because he was amazed. Kiss my head and I would release you. You will no longer be a prisoner of the Roman Empire. Now Abdullah ibn Hudhafa knew that he's now playing the cards. He said, and of all the prisoners of Islam, yani not just me, but along with all the Muslim prisoners, the king said, yes, along with all the Muslim prisoners, I will set you all free. And so Abdullah ibn Hudhafa Sahmi radiallahu anhu, he was then talking to himself like, I need to kiss this guy's head. You know, this non-Muslim. But then he's gonna let me go along with all Muslim prisoners. He's trying to balance and weigh the pros and cons. What is the lesser of two evil? To save the lives of the prisoners, or to kiss the head of this fella? He's weighing the lesser of two evil. And so he said, لا ضير عليه, لا ضرر عليه. I see no harm in kissing the head of this guy. And so he said, okay, fine, I'll submit to that. And so he kissed the head of Caesar, king of Rome, and then the king of Rome released and let go of him and all of the Muslim prisoners. And then they happily went back, returned to Medina. In Medina, Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu met Amir al-Mu'mineen, Khalifa al-Faruq, Abu Hafs Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, and told him the story of what happened in Rome. You know, he got me shot by my hand, by my leg, there's boiling oil and all the stories. And Umar al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, of course, was listening. And he said, MashaAllah, Tabarakallah. He said, حق على كل مسلم أن يقبل رأس عبد الله بن حذافة السهمي وأنا أبدأ بذلك فقام ثم قبل رأسه. He said, it is obligatory upon every Muslim in Medina, of course, as he was speaking, it is obligatory upon every Muslim to kiss the head of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi for what he has sacrificed. He go and kissed the head of that chap, that fella. So it is obligatory upon every Muslim to kiss the head of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa, وَأَنَا أَبْدَأُ بِذَلِكَ, and I will initiate it. I will start with it. And so Amirul Mu'mineen, Khalifa Umar al-Khattab, he stood up and he kissed the head of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa, followed by the second Muslim and the third, and so on and so forth, like Hajarul Aswad, like the black stone. Every one of them, every and each one of them kissed Abdullah ibn Hudhafa as a form of gratitude, after the gratitude to Allah Azza wa Jal, being thankful to him that he saved many lives of the Muslim prisoners. And so that was the story of Abdullah ibn Hudhafa al-Sahmi, how he met Kisra, the king of Persia, and how he met Qaisar, the king of